What's going on, everyone? It's Dave Kim for Grand Rapids Rock Alternative 97.9 GRD, here with some old friends in Halestorm.
Yo!
Thanks for
Michigan.
You don't have to thank us.
Come on.
I mean, it's been, I think, 2.5 years since you were at our Bud Light Bash at the Orbit Room, opened up for Chevelle.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people were familiar with you guys, and then you just stole the show.
They're like, Hail who?
And you have not looked back since. It's been crazy, your ascension, and you just released your new record, The Strange Case of Halestorm, back in April, which this record was supposed to come out way before that. I mean, I remember talking to you guys at the Avalanche tour last April where, yeah, we'll probably put it out in the fall. I didn't think you were going to lie to me, but you did.
We
Just
did.
kidding.
Just horrible people.
We steal.
Naughty us. Pillage.
You're just bad people. Yeah.
Pillage, then burn.
Vikings, whatever.
We pillage and then burn, not the other way
Viking
around.
on
Always
you.
remember
I
that.
get it. I mean, you guys were. Is it accurate to call you perfectionists?
I think so. I think that it was just such a strange, not to, strange, no pun intended.
Strange
but
case.
it was a really strange time. We had gotten right off tour, literally had 24 hours to pack, with this deadline to keep. And then once we got into the studio, we're like, oh wow, this is actually could be good. So we just we just kept going until it was absolutely done. And really,
2 months turned into like 6 months, I think.
But in all honesty, though, I mean the music and everything being recorded was fairly quick. I mean, we just we just went for it. It was just everything else, getting the artwork together, and then just getting everybody's approval, and then getting the mixing done, and a lot of hurry up and wait. And
It actually came out a little bit earlier
than what it would have been.
Yeah. What was expected.
Once we
It was supposed
stopped
to come
giving
out.
everybody a date to look forward to, it started working out.
Label said, what did they say originally? May
29th, it said.
Really?
Or something like that.
Yeah.
So we came in under the
2 weeks early.
Under the deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I read correctly, though, a couple executives from your label heard some of the stuff and said, "Oh, you know what? Take your time. This is getting good."
This is actually getting good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. We started out, and just the first 8 songs we plowed through, like songs like "Love Bites" and "American Boys," and all these really aggressive songs, and then halfway through, I mean, 2012 has kind of been the year of change for me. There's been a lot of stuff going on with me, and I started writing just a lot of more intimate songs and things that I think in previous years I had been afraid to even show my guys.
That's not obvious in the record, not at all.
and so it was funny. I remember the one song is actually on our deluxe version. It's called "I Hate It When You See Me Cry," and this was after I think that and I'm not proud of this, but I think I finished a bottle of wine by myself.
I know plenty of people.
And I wrote this song on my bed with an acoustic guitar, and I didn't remember this the next morning, but I stupidly sent it to my A&R guy via my phone, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get it, and he surprised me. He called me up the next day, and I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. He's like, no, it's really good. Can you do more like that? And so yeah, the floodgates opened and ended up writing so many songs. How many songs did we have after the second batch? 56 songs.
Ton of them.
It was just retarded.
Yeah.
we had a month off. Just they said go away,
writing, yeah.
and we were like,
Go away.
Fine, we'll go to the beach. So we just got crazy and just
That's
wrote
where the
all
softer
day,
side came from.
bike down to happy hour.
Yeah, bike down to happy
Come
hour.
back,
come
write a
back
little
right
more.
more. It was a lot of fun making this record.
The songs that didn't make the final cut will there be a huge B-sides and rarities collector's edition coming out, or
Probably. I hope so. There's a lot of songs that just didn't fit. That there's still amazing songs, and whether they
why
go
did
on.
they fit? It's just the theme wasn't right anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of we talk about this a lot. It was kind of a creative purging of ours right after we got off the road. Just recording everything and anything that we liked, and so yeah, a lot of the songs are just subject matter and or genre matter. It just didn't work out, but you never know.
I think most of the times we're not writing for a specific goal. It's not this is the format that we need to write for. It's more or less just writing for the sake of writing. And
even the theme on this record was a complete accident because we were trying to figure out how we're going to put these 2 sides on the same record. There's soft side and hard side. So
kind of a Jekyll and Hyde kind of situation. Oh, there's the theme right there. All right, that works.
Stole my second question.
Oh,
Thank you.
So you have any more questions?
But balance. It's like a juggling act. It seems. Did you work a lot with? Because Howard Benson returned as producer for this record, right? Was it a lot of strategy planning on how to get the right mix?
There was no real strategy. It was just he and his team were very encouraging for us just to go in and chase whatever got us excited and record. And then we spent like an entire day just jamming and recording everything. I think at the end of that I ended up like I was singing into a paper towel. Remember, like we were all in the same room and just
funny.
it was this very like weird.
There's some trippy stuff.
Psychedelic.
But I mean,
Floyd,
it was really cool compared to the first record. When we made the first record, his studio in LA was kind of like Studio Express. Like there were 5 other bands recording at the same time. You know, like while we were doing drums, another band was doing vocals, another band was getting edited, another band was getting mixed. You know, so when we wanted to make the next one, it was a lot more. It was just a lot more laid back. He kind of wanted to not be known as that kind of thing. Like he wanted a band to go in for 6 months and just own the studio and just create a good record. So
it was
that's what we did.
cool. Like I'd be in one room like finishing up, you know, lyrics or whatever while they were working on the last song in the next room, you know, adding drum parts and guitar parts and just figuring stuff out. It was a lot of fun. It was very freeing, you know, compared to the last record. Because the last record was very much like, oh, what are we doing and why? And are people going to like this? And we really didn't think about that at all on this record. We just had a lot of fun and
wrote in the studio. That was
someone
cool.
was going to like it.
Right. Now, RJ, talking to you at Rock on the Range,
yes.
You said that you weren't really nervous. You were looking more forward to putting this album out, finally getting it into fans' hands. But then, Lizzie, as you're saying, there are songs that are more personal, like Beautiful With You and Break In. So that didn't really, I don't want to say bother you, but you weren't scared about what people would have thought about tracks like those?
You know what really turned it around for me was we started getting these like physical letters, like fan mail. I don't know how they got the studio's address, but there were people from like, you know, Tennessee and you know, and Montana sending us these letters to the studio to the point where like our engineer is like, we haven't seen this since the 80s. You know, who sends a physical letter? Just you know, most people just contact me over Twitter, right? And it was just some of these letters were just so incredibly beautiful, and it really made me feel more confident in just putting myself out there. They really they made me feel very comfortable in my own skin and confident to actually put these thoughts out, you know, saying, okay, well, you know, I'm obviously not alone here in some of these thoughts, and maybe they actually will like this. So
Do you still do the Revolver magazine, the ass column?
I do. Yeah, I get some crazy,
Dear Abby,
some screwed up. Yeah, it's like a screwed up Dear Abby. It really is. Yeah, I do that, and then I also do an audible version for Hard Drive Radio. And man, you get some letters. It's like, oh, why do you need my advice? This is bad. No, it's very cool. I enjoy doing that.
Now, talking about the more personal songs, and even it seems like this record is more accessible to a wider audience. Obviously, Glee is a huge show. I'm not a particular fan myself, but Here's to Us was covered by the Glee cast. Were you cautious about that just because of how you thought the rock audience would have reacted?
No, we were actually really excited about it. What surprised us was when they contacted us and they wanted to use the song, and we're like,
well, let me think about it. Okay,
yeah.
3 bazillion people watching, yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fine. But it's like what I told them, like, you know, there's like 3 words in this song that you can't use on Glee, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna record a clean version, right?
A Glean version.
Went back in the studio and recorded a clean version for them, and it was really cool, man. I mean, I had never watched Glee before that episode either.
Come on, admit it. You guys are both Gleeks. You guys watch Glee all the time.
All the time.
Best show ever, right?
But it was really cool because then after that, like, there was a lot of little kids coming to our shows, and I don't know, it just exposed
it was
us
great.
so much.
Yeah, just to get into that whole new audience, all those teeny bopper kids, you know, and it was cool because a lot of them actually found out who we are, and we were watching the charts on iTunes, and there was a very victorious moment when we beat Adele for like 15 seconds.
Wow.
You know, it was like climbing up the charts. Adele was still number 1. We were number 3, 2, and then all of a sudden we were number 1 and Adele was number 2, and then right back again to number 2. It's like, all right. Well, that's enough of a victory, I think.
It just seems like I said, from that show back in September of '09 to now, so many things have happened. The Glee thing. You have your own Gibson Explorer guitar,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Totally crazy.
Where are you ever satisfied about where you guys are at, or what's the next plateau for Halestorm?
Taking over Europe.
Yeah. I don't know if we're entirely satisfied. I think that our goal has always been just to keep everything moving, and I think we get more excited as once we achieve something, we're like, okay, what happens next? So I think that's more exciting to us than actually like sitting and being like, wow. We definitely do stop and smell the roses. I mean, there are some moments where we're like, can you believe we're still doing this? This is amazing. And this last tour has been like that too, because it's our first headliner on this headlining tour on this album cycle, and we weren't sure who was going to show up, and we've been selling out. You walk out on stage like, wow, there's nobody going on after us, and all these people are still here. It's very cool.
Or I just think the main stage at Rock on the Range was pretty evident of how far you guys have come, where it was a pretty big audience.
It was pretty cool. They said that we were one of the few bands that actually got to play the third stage, and then play the second stage, and then actually, move your way up to the first stage. So it was pretty cool.
Now, everyone in the rock world are familiar with Lamb of God, Randy Blythe. Currently he's in the Czech Republic, still in custody. What is your stance on the personal safety of bands and fan interaction? How do you find that balance? Because from what I've read, that fan got 3 opportunities to go on stage, finally got on there on the third. Like, after the first time, should he have been kicked out, or the second time even?
Joe, you were talking to somebody yesterday about that, just one of the Five Finger guys.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and it's a gray area. I don't know. If some guy goes anywhere near Lizzie and it looks like he's got bad intentions, I'm gonna swing my guitar at him. And
I think all of us are kind of Lizzie's personal security squad.
But
Do you feel like that's a bigger risk just because you are a female-fronted band? Or?
Sometimes. I mean, it's happened a couple times to us. It really is a gray area, and I do think that if it had happened here and not in the Czech Republic,
everything you do on stage goes up on YouTube now. So there would be, I don't know, generally you're not supposed to get on stage, and there's security, but if it's a small place and the security isn't doing anything, and especially after the whole dime bag thing, it's like, what? Okay, so what are our options then? Push the kid back off stage. You're not supposed to be up there to begin with, because who knows? It's weird.
Right, you can't exactly control the whole environment, especially at a rock show.
Yeah.
But you guys will now be on, soon, Carnival of Madness tour. It seems like with concerts in general, it's always about a package. And do you think that's the future of the way live shows are booked?
I don't know.
I think it's just a way,
Yeah.
I mean, we
Not
still
the
like
definitive way, though.
Yeah, it's an option, and I like that the festival thing is starting to take off in the States again, and like in Europe, it's just awesome. Those festivals, they get 80, 100,000 people out and just go crazy, and they camp out for 3 days and make it this huge event, and it's cool that the States are really starting to grab onto that, and these festival tours are cool too. We did Uproar a few years ago, the first one, and it was as much fun as you can have in a rock band, I mean, there's parties every night and cookouts. Everyone's just hanging,
It's
like
pretty much like Rock on the Range, but every single night. And
I wouldn't survive.
I think
minus the press tent.
Yeah. Of course, we did do like 3-hour meet and greets every day in the hot sun under our personal little tent, and it was fun. It was great. I think it makes it fun for the bands and fun for the fans too.
Well, thank you so much. Like I said, we're so proud here at GRD of just how far you've come along. The Strange Case of Halestorm in stores now. They will be here. They'll be back in Grand Rapids in a month for the Carnival of Madness tour with Chevelle, Evanescence, Cavo, and New Medicine. You can buy tickets at rocktherapids.org. It's Dave Kim and Halestorm for WGRD.com.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks.